Hey there. So I have been getting feedback and for my videos actually, and people have been saying that I need to cut things more, to break things down more, and they said that my content is slightly a little advanced. So I think in this video I want to break things down a little, and I want to talk to you about astrological planetary timeline, which simply in Vedic terminology translates into the mahadasha system. All right, very simple. So the mahadasha system is basically the timeline of your astrological natal chart that can narrate events in your life. So for example, marriage, or if you have good things, bad things, if you're going to have kids, if you're going to have move to a new house, move to a new place, if you're going to travel, if you're going to start a new academic course, if you're going to be busy with academia, if you're going to join politics, or whatever it can be, a certain event in your life. So the mahadasha system is able to predict events in your life. Now that is a very typical mainstream explanation. So if you want to have a good understanding, so take your nakshatra. What nakshatra are you born in? So for example, if you're born under Rohini nakshatra, so Rohini is lorded by the moon. Okay, so when you were born, you started off with moon mahadasha, and depends on which pada you are born. So the division of the years would be dependent on the pada that you are born. So let's say if you are born in fourth pada, so that would mean most of the moon is about 10 years. So you would only have maybe 2 years of moon mahadasha when you were born. So you always start off with your nakshatra lord as the first mahadasa, planetary ruler. So if you are Bharani nakshatra, for example, so you start off with Shukra or Venus as your first mahadasha period. So which would be Shukra is usually 20 years. Now depending on the pada you're born in, whether you're Bharani or Purva Palguni or Pura Nakshatra or Purva Ashada or the one in Dhanusu, all right, what is the Tamil version? I forgot. Puradam, yes. So you are given 20 years, but depending on the pada you're born, so then there will be divisions. If you're first pada, maybe you will have 20 years, 19 years. If you're the second pada, maybe then that would be reduced a bit, maybe 15 years. Third pada, maybe 10 years. Fourth pada, maybe 5 years of Venus mahadasha. Okay? So if you are Sun mahadasa, you're born, not Sun mahadasa, if you are born under Sun nakshatra, so if you're Kritika or Kartigai nakshatra, Uttiram or Uttra Palguni nakshatra, or Uttra Ashada or Uttradam nakshatra, which is a Tamil version, South Indian version, okay, then you start off with Sun mahadasha. Alright, so the Sun mahadasha spans for 7 years, a typical Sun mahadasha. So again, depending on the pada you are born in, there would be either reduction or maximize a maximum years of your Sun mahadasha. Alright, so next is to understand the pattern. So we first start off with, let's say your Rohini nakshatra. We go back to Rohini nakshatra. Rohini is lorded by the moon. Alright, so you start off with moon as your mahadasha planetary ruler. So let's say you're born in fourth pada, you have 2 years of moon mahadasha. Now after moon would be Mars, 7 years of Mars. Your 7-year Mars or Sevai, or it has another name, Angarkara period, planetary ruler of mahadasha, 7 years. After Mars would be 18 years of Rahu or the North Node. Okay, 18 years of Rahu. After that would be Jupiter or Guru, 16 years. Okay. After 16 years of Guru Mahadasha, it will be 19 years of Shani Mahadasha or Saturn. After Saturn, 19 years of Saturn would be 17 years of Budhan or Budh or Mercury Mahadasha. After that would be 7 years of Ketu Mahadasha or the South Node. After that would be Venus, 20 years, Venus or Shukra, 20 years, Venus Mahadasha is usually 20 years. After that, Sun or Surya Mahadasha, which is 7 years. Okay, and then we go back to the Moon. Moon Mahadasha would be 10 years. Now, one of the questions would be, does this pattern apply to everybody? Definitely. Definitely. The pattern, like for example, after Rahu Mahadasha would be Guru Mahadasha for everybody, whatever nakshatra you are, whatever lagna you are, for everybody. So if you are, for example, you are Rahu nakshatra born, which means you might be Ardra, Trivadrai, Shwati, and the other one, Satabishtak or Sadiyam in South Indian. Okay. So Rahu Mahadasha would be 18 years. So again, depending on which pada, 1 to 4 padas, that would determine and dictate how many years you would be going through Rahu Mahadasha. So if you are the 4th pada, maybe very little, maybe 4 years of Rahu Mahadasha. So immediately after Rahu Mahadasha, you will have Guru Mahadasha, 16 years, followed by Shani Mahadasha, which is 19 years. A lot of Rahu Nakshatra people in their 30s, they would be going through Shani Mahadasha, which would really, I have seen in my life, I have observed tremendous wisdom. They go through a very interesting, beautiful journey where they gain tremendous amount of wisdom. I have seen this in a lot of Rahu Nakshatra people in their 30s and 40s. A wonderful journey of 19-year Shani period. And sorry, I just had to chip that in. It's some interesting tidbit. So that's Rahu people, right? Shwati, Trivadrai or Ardra, and then Satabishtak or Sadya Nakshatra. All right. Then we have Guru, those who are born in Guru Nakshatra. Punarvasu or Punarpusam, Vishaka, Purvabhadra. Purvabhadra Pada or Puratari in South Indian, we call it. So these guys start off with Guru Mahadasha. So again, depending on the padas. Then they usually start off in their youth as a, just as they are born, and their youth, they go through Jupiter period, depends how many years. Immediately after that would be Mercury. So whenever you see a person who is a Guru Nakshatra, in their 20s, their teenage years to 20s, they would be going through Budhan Mahadasha. So you would see they can be quite communicative, articulate, they make good joke, they can, crack good jokes, and they may be seen as having good sense of humor. They would bring in the very mercurial archetype, character, persona to the table. All right. Then after Budhan, they would be following Ketu Mahadasha for 7 years. And then after that is Venus for 20 years. This pattern of Mahadasha, planetary Mahadasha pattern is applicable to everybody. It's just that which nakshatra you're born in. So you start with Moon. Let's say you are Moon Nakshatra, Rohini, Hashta, Shravana, Truvunam. You start with Moon, and then you followed by Mars, 7 years, followed by Rahu, 18 years, followed by Jupiter, 16 years, followed by Shani in your 40s for 19-year period, and then Budhan for another 17 years, then Ketu would be the time you might, sign off in your late 80s, all right? But interesting for all of us who are Moon Nakshatra that we get Ketu in our final, signing off time period, because Ketu is the significator of moksha. I personally feel when you have Ketu at the end of your life, and it prepares you to your next it's not really a journey going back home, but prepares you in wonderful ways that with spiritual knowledge, meditation, and things like that, and equips you to handle topics like death, transformation, alchemy, and that which is beyond this physicality. But that's just my little input. You can enjoy Ketu Mahadasha at any point in your life. So there is no, discrimination or any hard and fast rule for these sort of things. Right. Then after moon we have Mas nakshatras. All right. So let's see, Mas nakshatra would be Mrigarashara, and then we have Chitra or Chitrai in south, and then we have Dhanishta, or they call it Avitam in the south. So you start off with Mas Mahadasha, which is supposed to be 7 years, Mas Mahadasha, but depends on the pada. It gets broken down, maybe 3 years, 4 years, maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year, depending on which pada you're born. So once Mas Mahadasha is over, next is Rahu Mahadasha, 18 years Rahu period, then 16-year Jupiter period. Then again, in your 40s, you'll be going through the 19-year Shani period or Saturn period. Then in your later 50s, your late 50s, you can be going through 17-year Buddhan or Mercury Mahadasha. Okay, so this pattern is standard. It just depends which nakshatra lord, which is your nakshatra lord, and you start from there. The pattern is the same. Okay, after Mars, it will be Rahu. After Rahu, it will be Jupiter. After Jupiter is Shani. After Shani is Mercury. After Mercury, it's Ketu. After Ketu, it's Venus. After Venus, it's Sun. After Sun is Moon. Now, it depends on which nakshatra you're born and who is the nakshatra lord. That then dictates which part you start your life with, which Mahadasha period. And then the pattern follows from there. So if you have any questions regarding this, please put them over in the comments so that I will see on to how I can explain and elaborate things more. So one of the things is I'll be putting out more videos. It's just that I haven't really got the time. And I would just love to sit down and do this sort of videos every single day. I wish I can just have a platform to teach astrology, more in-depth astrology, and because I love doing that and I want to just do that for the rest of my life. One of the other thing is that if you want to learn astrology, as a rookie, as an amateur, the first thing you do is you go to the books, the textbooks. But once you have mastered the textbooks, then you start observing. Now you have all your primary knowledge with you. Now, utilizing your primary knowledge, now you start observing. Now you do your research. Now, once people know that you're an astrologer, this happens to me, once people know I am an astrologer, wherever I go, people approach me, they give me their birth details, they talk to me, this happened in their life, la 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 la. So that gives me background, that gives me depth, that gives me knowledge. I study people, I study their lives, I study the events in their life in association with their natal chart, their Mahadasha timeline, all right, as well as the transit chart. I only do these three things, and I have been getting really good, not only prediction, but also from a perspective of astropsychology, right? Understanding people's psychology. What a lot of people do is they just study their Rasi Nakshatra, well, that's not enough, or the sun sign. So not enough. So not enough. You need to study natal chart. You need to study transit chart for prediction. Natal chart to understand the psychology of a person from ascendant, descendant, Ketu's position, moon position, and all the other planetary alignment aspects, blah blah blah. You need to understand archetypes. There's so much of beautiful things in astrology, and outside of popular culture, astrology is so many beautiful things and wonderful way of looking at astrology, which is not too popular, because what is popular is whatever that's commercialized, whatever that can fearmonger and that can get you to get to be a customer or consumer, make you afraid, and then you run to somebody who can see astrology and then prescribe you remedies out of fear. And that would usually be predictive astrology in the worst of its kind. But I like to go into astropsychology and study people. Once you know yourself, there's no other greater power than that. Nobody can step on you. And it's transcendental, it's alchemical, it's something else. Nobody can with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So today, that's all the lesson I have. Maybe I should do another video on mahadasa. Maybe I will. So yep, we're done with this one, and I will see you in the next video. Am I awkward? Guess I'm awkward. I'm not too conditioned, not too used to doing these videos. I'm creating new circuits, in my neural pathways. Then I would calm down a little. I'm a bit nervous. I'll calm down a little once I condition myself, All right, see you in the next one. All right, ask me questions, any questions, so that I could make videos and elaborate on the particular question topic. Right, see you in the next video. I don't want to be yapping away.